Hello YouTube, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. I'm a little festive right now, and so is my little buddy Biscuit. Isn't he cute in his little Christmas sweater? We're going to be doing a fun do-it-yourself type of, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a craft, but just like a do-it-yourself project, getting myself in the holiday spirit here. I could have done this for Thanksgiving too, what you're going to see me make. This looks really simple. I saw it online. Oh, the internet, let me tell you, all the projects and things I want to make from things that I see online, I would be doing it 24/7 and I wouldn't be sleeping. But this looks relatively easy, relatively cheap to make. It goes on your kitchen table. I'm going to point right here. I'm going to insert a picture of what I saw, and I thought it was pretty cool. So it's like an elevated centerpiece piece of wood thing that you put on your table so you can put all your decorations and make your table look really fancy for the holidays and get things kind of elevated and out of the way. So I thought, okay, that looks relatively easy. I think I can do that. So you're gonna see me make this. It should go fast. We're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna measure my table. I already got the piece of wood. I already got the legs. We just gotta cut it to size, attach the legs. I'm probably gonna stain my piece of wood a lighter color to match my table. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's get upstairs and we'll get started on this project, right? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, right, Biscuit? Okay, everyone, we are upstairs in my little dining nook area, and as you can see, I already bought the piece of wood. So what you're going to do is go to a home improvement store and get a piece of wood. This one that I got, it's nothing fancy, it's not oak or anything. It is about 4 feet in length, and it's a foot across in width. And from what I saw online, most of the boards that I see that people are putting on their dining room table, most of them are a foot across this way, okay? So 12 inches. Pretty standard of the boards that you'll find in any home improvement store is about 12 inches across. So I'm gonna need to cut my board. It's a tad bit too long. As you can see, if I just left it as is right now, I wouldn't be able to fit my plates. Let me give you a demonstration. Do you see? This plate doesn't fit and this plate doesn't fit here. So I'm gonna need to take probably, if I measure this, I need to take about 5 inches off each side of my board here. That way it can fit nicely. My table isn't very long, so make sure you measure your table, measure the board, and cut accordingly. My table, I think, is just over 5 feet. Yep, it's 5 feet 3 inches here. So, and then the board is 4 feet, so I do need to cut it a little bit. I'm gonna go do that downstairs. You're gonna watch me do that with my miter saw. But I just kind of wanted to give you a look-see of how you go about creating this. This is super easy, you guys. You're just getting wood, you're cutting it to size, and then you're gonna put 2 legs underneath. Now, I got bun legs. That's all they had the other day when I went. So I will put one here, and then I'll put one here. Just to give you an idea, that's gonna give it the elevation that we're looking for. And I also got the hardware to attach it. Now there's different hardware at different stores. Sometimes it's labeled a hardware A, and some of them are labeled a hardware B. So make sure whatever leg you get, that it matches into the mounting hardware, okay? I've made the mistake one time of not getting the right one. So make sure you do that. So I'm gonna measure this out here, exactly where I need to cut it on my board, and we'll go downstairs and we'll get cutting. Okay, you guys, I am back downstairs. I measured my board out, and it seems to be that I need to take 8 inches, 8 3/4 to be exact, off my 4-foot board in order for me to have 2 plates nicely set at my table on each end. So I've measured out my board. I got everything set up with my miter saw. I got the support underneath so it doesn't end up falling off. I've got my support block here so I don't indent my wood. Safety goggles, I'm wearing my glasses. I'll be putting ear protection in, and then I'll also be putting my hair up. So you're gonna see in a time-lapse video, me cutting this board. Okay guys, the board has been cut. Now I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to use my orbital sander, my Festool orbital sander. This is a 5-inch orbital sander. It's the ETS 125. I have it hooked up to my dust extractor and I'm going to give it a good sanding. So that's what you're going to see in this next time-lapse video. The top part of my board. I'm also going to sand the underside of my board just because I'm a perfectionist. That is totally up to you. And I'll also be sanding the edges as well, but I'm going to use a different sander for that. I'm going to use my Festool 400, my RTS, this one here. I like using that for edging. So I'm going to get going with that, and I probably won't show that, and we're going to get right into the next part you're going to see in this video after I'm done sanding my bottom and the edges. You're going to see me, what color am I going to stain it or paint it. That is completely up to you and what your theme is and what your decor is like in your home. I'm personally probably going to stain mine more of like a whitewash, like a white stain, and I might put some liming wax in it to make the grain pop. That's what I have going on upstairs in my living room, is more of like a boho chic type of look. So that's what I'm going to be doing with mine. And then once I'm done with that, then I'll be attaching the feet to the underside. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, I'm all done sanding. My wood has been prepped as much as it can be. So I got done sanding the entire board, and then this is what I do to pick up any residual sand dust that may be on a piece of wood. I take this brush like this and I run it along my surface, and then I take my shop vac and suck it off here, and then just keep doing that until this brush doesn't pick up any more sand dust. I know some people use tack cloths. I don't like them. To each their own. So you're going to want to make sure your surface is sand dust free. And then I apply a wood conditioner anytime I apply a water-based stain or when I apply an oil-based stain. I prefer Minwax, looks like this. So I know I'm going to be applying an oil-based stain to this, so I have the oil-based pre-stain wood conditioner. They have a water-based and they have an oil-based. This is an oil-based. I like to apply it with a 2-inch foam brush, and it goes on super duper fast. You let this sit anywhere between 15 minutes and 45 minutes, and then you can apply your stain. You just let it soak into the wood. You do not have to wipe it off. This wood is very, very thirsty. It's soaking it in nicely, and I'll be doing both sides. I'm going to be staining both sides of my board. That's just me. You don't have to. You just do the top if you want, but I like doing a really thorough job with any job that I do. It's a blessing and a curse being wired this way. I'm just a perfectionist. That's just how I roll. So wow, that just soaked in right away. So I'm going to be able to do the top and the bottom real quickly here. I'm doing the edges as well. And I'm on my floor because I'm running out of space. I got a lot of projects going on. So I'm down here. And luckily I bought these really cool like painter tripod little doohickeys, and they elevate any like a piece of wood. They look like this. I got them at Harbor Freight. I'll put a link for them. They're really cool. I think I got a set of, I got 4 underneath there, a set of 10. They were not expensive at all, but they're nice to have around the shop just to elevate things when you need them, like I do now. So now I'm gonna just flip this right away. That, put them on my little tripods. And we're gonna do the underside. And like I said, I'm gonna let this sit 15 minutes to 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna be back and we are going to apply my white stain and see how that takes. I want a frosted look, kind of a bleached wood look to my centerpiece board here, because I want it to match my table. You can do whatever you'd like. And you know what I was thinking while I was cutting the board, I'm like, you know what? Most people, I know a lot of people don't have miter saws if you don't do, you know, woodworking projects a lot. If you have like a 6-foot long table, a lot of people have that long of a table, you could buy a 4-foot board and 4-foot long board, and you wouldn't have to cut it off. You could just sand it and stain it and attach the legs and be ready to go. So if you have a longer table, most likely you probably won't have to cut the wood like I am. I just have a shorter table. So wood conditioner's on, you guys. I'm gonna set my timer and I'm gonna be back and we're gonna get staining. Okay guys, the wood conditioner has been on for about 15-20 minutes. So now I'm going to apply my whitewash. Got my gloves on. I got a rag. She's all stirred, and we are ready to apply this. Again, like I said, I'm kind of going for a beached, I don't know, whitewashed look. So we'll see how this goes, how white I can get this. Sometimes you can't get wood very white, and you want it really white, so all depends. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a time lapse, and then you guys can watch me hopefully get this board a nice white. All right, looking good so far. Okay, you guys saw in that time-lapse video, I put 2 coats of the white on. I also started to just roughly sand, just lightly sand the bun legs that I bought. And then I've also decided, you know what? I want these also to have some white pigment in them so they look whitewashed as well. I know you're not gonna really see these much underneath the board, but again, I like things to look just complete and cohesive. So I am doing that as well, just giving these a nice little bit of white. And then I'm gonna flip that board over and I'm gonna do 2 coats on the underside. And then we are gonna be ready to attach these really flat bun legs to the center part of the board, the center part on the end and then the center part on the other end. So they'll be nice and level. And then we can get this back upstairs and I can get my table decorated for Christmas and have like my decorations somewhat elevated. It's gonna look so good. I'm excited to have this board on my table. That way I can decorate for all the holidays and it's gonna look really nice. All right, I'm gonna keep going, you guys. I wanted to give you guys a close up. Do you see the white, how it sits in the grain nicely there, this whitewash? That's the look I'm going for. Okay, here's the comparison. This little bun leg has been done, this one hasn't. I hope that's coming through on the video. Sometimes I don't know if these come through the lighting or not. So this one has been done, this one hasn't been done. And here's a close-up of the board. This side has been done, and this side has not been. So you can see, really there's a golden honey hue to the back side, and you can see how much it looks whitewashed now with that finish on it. Okay guys, we are at the tail end of making my centerpiece board for my dining room table. So I need to attach the hardware in order to attach the legs, the little flat bun legs. Now you can find any type of leg at a home improvement store. They have narrow ones. You could put one in each corner of your board. I'm doing two larger, flatter ones on each end of my board, mainly because that's all they had there. And you don't want your board too elevated off your table, just enough to get enough lift. So this one is probably, 3 inches or so, I would say. So the hardware looks like this. I'm going to be drilling 4 holes in my board, and then your leg just simply attaches. It screws into the hardware, and that's how it gets attached to your board. So in this next time-lapse video, you're gonna watch me attach 2 of these, one on either end of my board, okay? And then we can screw the legs in, and then we'll be all set. Legs are on, they're attached. I want my board a little wider. I did put 2 coats on. I let the second coat sit, and it just didn't get into the grain as much as I wanted it to. So when I said at the beginning of the video, I might be putting liming wax on, that's what I'm gonna do next. You're gonna see me do that. So liming wax is great. It's very, very pigmented. It's very white. It has a strong odor to it. It kind of looks like Noxzema. It has that consistency. I've done a couple of YouTube videos, other ones on everything about liming wax, how to apply it and all of that. So I'm not gonna really get into it, but I'm just gonna brush a little bit on, especially along the grain of the wood here on the top. I'm not gonna do it on the underside. You don't need to see the underside. I already stained the underside, so that was enough there. I just want it more frosted. So that's what I'm looking for here with a liming wax to give it even more of a frosted look. I really want my wood to look bleached and washed out. And that's what the liming wax is gonna do here. It's gonna get into all of that wood grain and really, really give it a, almost like a frosted look. That's what I'm looking for. So I'll apply it here, all over the board here, and then I will wipe the excess off, and we should be good to go. And then I'm going to see you guys upstairs, and I'm going to show you what this board looks like on my table. I'm pretty excited to get it up there and be done. Okay. Okay, here's a good shot of it, you guys. Here's what the liming wax did. Do you see how I have like this frosted look? The white got in the wood grain. That's exactly what I was looking for. And I got the results that I wanted. But I wanted to make sure you guys could see close up what the liming wax does to the wood. Okay, this is what the elevated centerpiece board looks like on my table. I wanted to give you guys a look-see and see that I can fit a plate on either end. That was important. And you can see what the bun legs look like underneath. And now I'm going to get to decorate my table. Here we go. Okay, here's what my table looks decorated. I'm really liking this. I want to hear your thoughts if you guys like this look on a table or if you don't. I guess it's all personal preference, but I like how it gives my table just some more dimension, and it lifts that area in the center, which usually gets a little crowded. To me, it does. And I'm able to put some festive decorations on my table, and it just, I don't know, it looks cleaner to me. How about that? Looks a little more organized. So I'm really excited to be able to use this year round for different holidays and different seasons. And it's just something different. And I really, really like the way it looks. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Share them in the comments. Okay, you guys, that concludes this tutorial on how to make an elevated centerpiece board. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. I know I liked it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys aren't following me yet, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. So you have to subscribe, and then you have to ring the bell. If you click on ringing the bell there, then you guys will be notified every time I upload a new video. And I do all sorts of videos. Mainly I show how to refinish old and vintage furniture, but I also do projects like this around the house, do-it-yourself type of projects, along with home improvement, because I just bought my first house. And so Biscuit and I, we're gonna say toodaloo. This is one of my 2 Chihuahuas. This is Biscuit. He's our older Chihuahua. Oldest one, he's 6.5. He'll be 7 soon. And then we just adopted Bacon. He's only 4 months old. He's upstairs right now. So we got Biscuit and Bacon. And Biscuit's used to coming and joining me on my YouTube videos. He's much calmer. You'll notice he just sits, you know, right here perched. No problems whatsoever. So you guys, remember, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and you guys can find me all over social media. You can find me on my Facebook business page, and that's here at Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. You can also find me on Instagram, and that's here at bethany.yusuf. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you go make one. It was a lot of fun, pretty easy to make, and I think all in with supplies, minus stain and liming wax and everything that I already have, but just like getting the wood and the bun legs and the hardware to attach it to the board, I think I was just at $40. So not too shabby, and I really enjoyed it. So till we see you guys soon, bye, toodaloo.